dealing with the normal female pelvis. The characteristics of normal female pelvis give rise to no difficulties during the time of labor provided the fetus size is normal. And for midwife, it is very essential that she should know the pelvis, the pelvic bones, the pelvic joints, the diameters of the pelvis, what is an outlet, what is the cavity, what is the brim. So this knowledge is very essential during the time of labor. Okay, in order to understand the progress of labor. So when we are doing a vaginal examination or per vaginal examination, we are going to assess the progress of labor, how the lady is progressing towards the labor, whether she can deliver normally or not. So that is the decision where we are making when we are doing a vaginal examination. We are seeing the station of the fetal head according to the progress. In order to know all these things, it is very essential that you should know the anatomy of the pelvis. So today we'll be dealing with the normal female pelvis. So in pelvic bones, in female pelvic bone, there are totally 4 pelvic bones. That is, we have two innominate bones, one sacrum and one coccyx. This whole part, the whole part that is starting from here till here, it is called as an innominate bone. So we have 2 innominate bone. This is the one innominate bone, the other one is this. So you have 2 innominate bone. This is called as a sacrum. So you have a sacrum over here. This 5 fused vertebra is called as a sacrum, and below you have 4 fused vertebra, the tail like structure. This is called as a coccyx. So you have 2 innominate bone, 1 sacrum and 1 coccyx. So we'll study one by one each bones. So we'll study the pelvic bone one by one. So first we'll see about the innominate bone. So I have already said you we have a 2 innominate bone. So the innominate bone has got 3 fused bones. They are all fused together. So the parts are, you have a ilium, this part, the whole bone, this part is called as ilium, and then you have a ischium, and then you have a pubis. So each innominate consists of 3 fused bones. They are joined together. So they are ilium, ischium and pubis. So first we'll see about the ilium. So this part of the bone is called as an ilium. So when you rest your hand on a hip, it rests over here. Okay, when you rest your hand on a hip, okay, when you place your hand on a hip which rests over here, this part is called as an iliac crest. Okay, you have iliac crest. So on the left side also, both side you have the iliac crest. Okay, the left and the right iliac crest. And just in front of this iliac crest, so I have said you, when you place your hand on your own hip, you can feel that part is called as an iliac crest. Just in front of the iliac crest, you have a prominence here. So this prominence, so you have 2 prominence, you can see here. So both are anterior, and one is superior and one is inferior. So this point is called as an anterior superior iliac spine. Okay, anterior, it is in the front, anterior, superior, it is on the top, iliac spine, because spine is, it's a projection. And just below that you have one more projection, that is called as an anterior inferior iliac spine. So you have anterior superior iliac spine and anterior inferior iliac spine. So similarly at the back also you have 2 projection. Okay, you have 2 projection over here. So this projection is also called as a, this is at the back, so it is called as a posterior superior iliac spine, and just below that also you have a posterior inferior iliac spine. So it is called, because it is back, it is called as a posterior superior iliac spine and posterior inferior iliac spine. So you have 4 spines in the ilium. The first part is a ilium, so you have a iliac crest, anterior superior iliac spine, anterior inferior iliac spine, posterior superior iliac spine and posterior inferior iliac spine. So these are the 4 spines in the ilium. The ischium is the thick lower part. So you can see the thick lower part which is at the below is called as an ischium. So in ischium you have this prominence, the large prominence which you can see is called as an ischial tuberosity. So this part is called as an ischial tuberosity. So when we sit, the whole part or the weight of the body rests on this. So this part is called as an ischial tuberosity. And inside this you can see one inward projection. Okay, if you see here deep, that is called as an ischial spine. You can see inside. Okay, this projection which you can see on both sides. Okay, this projection is called inward projection. It is inside. Okay, that's called as ischial spine. This ischial spine plays a very important role when we are assessing the progress of labor during the time of delivery. As I mentioned here, the station of the fetal head. Similarly, as we have station from one station to another station, similarly as the fetus is traveling through this passage, okay, so when it passing through this passage, it also has its station. So we are assessing the head of the fetal station. Okay, that is the fetal head, the station of the fetal head. So when the head lies just in the level of the ischial spine, we call it as a station 0. That is, the head is at a station 0. So above that, so each there is a each station, so above that is called as a, like you have -1 station, -2, -3, -4 and -5 above that, and below that we have +1, +2, +3, +4 and +5 station. So as the fetal head progresses, we are assessing with the station where it falls. These are all we are doing during the assessment of labor. So next we'll see about the pubic bone. Okay, so we have seen about the ilium, the ischium. The next one is the pubic bone, which forms the innominate bone. So the pubic bone forms the anterior part of the pelvis. So the pubic bone consists of a body. This is a body of a pubic bone and two oar-like projection. So the upper part, this oar is called as a superior rami or the superior ramus, and the down part is called as an inferior ramus. And the two inferior ramus join together, and this part is called as a pubic arch. And where the body of the pubic bone, these are the body of pubic bone, the body of the pubic bone meet together, and that part is called as a symphysis pubis. And in the and here you can see the two rami. Okay, the two rami, this is the body of the pubic bone, and you have a ischium. So these three bones are enclosed together, and you have a foramina. This foramina is called as an obturator foramina. And the other part which you have in the innominate bone, the one is you have the cup shaped structure. You can see here the cup shaped structure, which you have already seen in your first year in the anatomy. So this is called as an acetabulum, where it get attached to the head of the femur. The other structure which you have to study is in this, you have a greater sciatic notch and the lesser sciatic notch. So these curves, this is a greater sciatic notch and this one is a lesser sciatic notch. So the greater sciatic notch, it extends from the, you have here behind, that is the posterior inferior iliac spine. So from the posterior inferior iliac spine up till the ischial spine, you have here, this spine is called as an ischial spine. This is called as a greater sciatic notch. And from this ischial spine up till the ischial tuberosity, you have one small curve, that is called as a lesser sciatic notch. So these are the features, or these are the things which you are going to study in the pelvic bone. This is regarding the innominate bone. So next we'll see about the sacrum. The sacrum is formed by the 5 fused vertebrae. So these are all fused together. So you have a 5 fused vertebrae which forms a sacrum. And the sacrum is like a wedge-shaped bone. Okay, you can see here this part, this 5 fused vertebrae up till here, it is called as a sacrum, and it looks like a wedge. A wedge is nothing but the top part is broader and where the lower part becomes narrow, or it thins out. In olden days they used to stab the animals using this wedge shaped weapon. So this is somewhat like a wedge shape. So it is called as a wedge shaped bone which consists of a 5 fused vertebrae. And you can see on the first part, okay, you can see here the first vertebra, or the first vertebra of the sacrum is just forward, or it is just pushing or just coming front, and that part is called as a sacral promontory. The first sacrum vertebrae, where it just forward is called as a sacral promontory. And you can see this shape here. It has just gone inside or curved inside. It's like a concave. So the front part of it, the anterior part of it, is called as a concave. So that's about the sacrum. Okay, the next one is coccyx. We'll be seeing about the coccyx. That is the next bone. So we have seen about the innominate bone, the sacrum, and the coccyx. The coccyx is formed by a 4 fused vertebrae. Okay, the sacrum is formed by a 5 fused vertebrae. The coccyx is formed by a 4 fused vertebrae, and this looks like a triangular bone, and it is called as a triangular bone, and it is also called as a cochlegeal tail or the vestigial tail. So the innominate bone consists of, or it is made up of a 3 fused bone, that is ilium, ischium, and the pubis. The sacrum is formed by a 5 fused vertebrae, and the coccyx is formed by a 4 fused vertebrae. So those are the bones of the pelvic bone. So you have in pelvic bone, you have 2 innominate bone, okay, and 1 sacrum and 1 coccyx. The 2 innominate bone consist of ilium, ischium, and the pubis. The sacrum is made up of 5 fused vertebrae. The coccyx is formed by a 4 fused vertebrae. Hope you understood this bone.